right, everyone. My name is Dante. We're 52 years removed from Dr. King's assassination, and in those 52 years, we have failed to achieve his dream. And I'm running because I want to be a part of actually achieving that dream. Over the last 4 years, we've spent $2 billion on policing alone. Now, I don't know about you, but Dr. King's dream was not one day we're going to arrest everybody. So that's more per person than Chicago, more per person than New York on our city, and obviously it isn't working. So instead of doing that, my Peace Zones policy actually allocates $72 million in additional funding to revamp 1,200 homes every year for affordable housing. It involves $18 million in small business grants, so that way people can lift these communities up. It involves $18 million in rec center funding, $18 million in complete streets so these communities can have protected bike lanes and safer roads, $12 million in permeable and ADA accessible sidewalks, $12 million in mental health facilities, and $9 million every year and towards community-owned grocery stores. That's how you build a community. That's how you end crime. Now, I also want to reallocate $83 million out of the police budget for our education system. That means actually providing funding for our for actual resources in these schools, for new teacher hires, for increased pay, for mental health counselors, and programming. But not only that, I want to invest in a zero-waste economy in the city. Right now, our recycling rate is 15%. If we could hit 70%, that would be 4,000 full-time new jobs in Baltimore. Think of the impact of 4,000 jobs on families in this community and beyond. But I also want to expand the Charm City Circulator beyond where it currently goes, put more money into it so that way it goes into the Black Butterfly, that way it goes to Park Heights, that way it goes to Curtis Bay and Cherry Hill. And Cherry Hill where the buses are based, but they can't even use it because it doesn't serve there. So that's something I want to deal with. But I don't want to wait 10 years to cut the property taxes. I want to cut the property tax by 25% in my first year. I also want to improve air quality and fight climate change because climate change and violence are connected. The hotter it gets, the more irritable people get, and the more likely you're going to end up with violence in the city. So if we don't fight that, we're not going to deal with the violence issue as well. But also, someone talked earlier about the need for affordable housing and rent control is what I advocate for. So a 4% increase, not something where you can go 30%, 50%, 100% every year on someone and push them out because you want someone that happens to make more money. Actual rent control. But not only that, people talk about needing to get rid of the Board of Estimates. I want to do that. I also want to make sure that it's the mayor, the entire city council, but also we need to establish participatory budgeting. So every April, you all who are registered to vote are able to vote on the budget yourself. So that way you have the ability to say where our money goes every single year. Last but not least, I volunteer at the city's Rape Crisis Center turnaround, and I believe that we need to face domestic and sexual violence head on in this city. There are so many folks that reach out to us and need those resources, which means not only do we need a comprehensive sex ed program in our high schools and our middle schools that teach healthy relationships, consent, and the like, but we also need to make sure we have the resources appropriated to folks in need. So once again, if we're not engaging these communities, we're not actually achieving the dream of Dr. King, and I thank you.
Thank you.